This is what I've come up with. Pulled the battery out of the 7.3 diesel. Turns out the battery is shot, so I pulled the battery out of the 240, and that one is enough. Anyways, so then we'll do that a few times, get the compression, see what we got. Not a good start. I'm gonna put this charger on the battery so that we got full juice going to it. So it's not doing anything on here anyways, so I might as well slide it over. Make sure that's good and tight. At about 110. Well, it's not great. This next cylinder was the one that the previous owner told me he was concerned about. It is really wet around the spark plug hole. Anyways, let's see what we get. And give it a little. Low. So I just went ahead and did it. Seemed like I was having a hard time getting it to turn over hard enough to get what I would call a legit reading, but I still could get about 110 out of these two, and then it was about 90, 90, 110, 90. And so what I decided to do was put the plugs back in and just give it a listen. It's got a little gallop. There's still compression. It'll still run. I might just go ahead and toss it back in, see how well it runs, and later down the road I can pull it back out and give it a refresh if I want to. But right now I'd like to just get the car back together and get it running and driving, so that I can enjoy it and also see what I need and what I'm missing and start from there. Been like a week since I've touched this thing. You can see it's already turning into a shelf. I did want to put the motor back in, but I think I'm gonna wait on that because I'm not gonna worry about the compression test, but I do wanna at least fix the flywheel bolt situation and the blown clutch, because once this car gets together it's gonna stay that way for a little bit, and I'm just hoping that it runs well enough that I can drive it around for a little while. What I'm gonna work on today is pulling everything out of here and start getting the interior back together. There's something with this window that I need to figure out, because it almost seems like it's missing part of the track. I'm gonna have to probably just look up on how these things operate. It definitely is not in any sort of tracks. Anyways, I'm gonna get to it. I'm just gonna start pulling stuff out of here and go from there. See, there's a little bit of rot right here. Other than that, I mean, the rest of the floor is pretty solid. I'm gonna get the vacuum out, get this sucked out, and then lay out the wiring harness. See how that goes in there. And it's gotta be the first thing to go in, so, ooh, look at that, free bolt. Nice. All right. Okay, I had to put the camera down for a little bit. What I figured out was, so I started here, which was my initial start point, and I started going. Once I got to here, this one actually goes out to basically kind of all the, there's like fusible links, there's headlights, the turn signals, and it goes around. I don't actually know what all of it does. I haven't gotten that far yet. And then this one across, and I had to dig through the bins, and I found kind of all these little sub harnesses. Here's a sub harness, and then I'm guessing this is a sub harness for radio, or just kind of like all the controls up on there. Under here, it kind of took off, and I'm guessing, so we got a handbrake signal. I'm guessing this is probably, I don't know yet. Because then here, these ones here, that's all roof stuff. So I see a couple of these little guys, which makes me think that there's probably more, because I know there's supposed to be speakers in here, and then something to run back to the fuel pump. Because this is like all tail lights, and what are you? You're like a vent line. You know, a guy should just invest into a service manual, but where's the sense of adventure in that? Anyways, well, I'll worry about that later. So I kind of started to fumble the heater core in, and then this one had AC, so I don't know if they help. Maybe they all had AC. It looks like all of this stuff runs off these vacuum lines, and there's a little kind of dial in there that whatever it controls, and that's all vacuum related. So I'm gonna have to figure out how all these vacuum lines route. I know that there's another vacuum sub harness in here somewhere. What do I do with that? There it is. This one's got, oh yep, and this one's got kind of all the same labels, D through whatever. What do we got here? We got A, B. I don't know what any of that goes to. But we got more sub harnesses here. Let's see, we got the battery cables. More vacuum line. Is there anything that looks like it would be fuel pump? I don't know what this is. Oh boy. So it looks like, oh god, it stinks. This thing is. There's a smell to this whole car. And I don't know. I'm almost wondering if it's from the Freon or whatever, the R whatever, if that, but it's the whole car though. I think it's either the adhesive or it's something with the AC, because the whole thing actually, it's got to be something with the HVAC, because like everything out of the HVAC has a very strong scent, and it's a very odd scent, and it's not a good smell, and all these bins smell like it. So I'm wondering if it's just that stuff that leaked everywhere. It's a very chemical smell. It's not good. Oh yeah, it's gotta be that thing. Like that thing just reeks. Well, this is kind of what I got here. I just came out, and I mean, the wire just still kind of has its memory in the bends, and so I just basically, they got these little tabs, and I just followed where it goes, and you know, found plugs along the way, and I didn't find any plugs along the way. You know, these are like those fusible links. I'm pretty sure there's supposed to be some sort of a bracket that they attach to that's missing. I mean, this is just a rat's nest of God knows what. You know, these wires are ripped off. I don't know what that is. We got fuel lines. Them are there. But yeah, and then these came up and we got the lights hooked up. Figured out just by lining it up that it bolts to there. So put that there so I know where that goes. But yeah, I got these other little plugs. Maybe, well, these are probably horn. I mean, who knows? Looks like you got some stab on things, connectors. Yeah, I don't know how much faith I have in the in this harness, because this is kind of a mess. So I might be doing all this for naught and pulling it all back out. My main thing is I just really wanted to keep all of the gauges, which maybe I could do that if I figured out what sensors I needed. It would be nice if the HVAC system would work so I could have defrost at least. I don't know if I'd go as far as getting AC back into this, as much as I'd love that. At the moment right now, I'm literally just doing just throw the stuff in and line it up and figure it out as I go. So I'm just winging it. Probably gonna keep winging it for a while until I really get frustrated. And the other thing too is, like, I got some of the stuff, I got bolts that are labeled really well, and some of the other stuff I got bolts that aren't labeled at all. So then there's a lot of this. There's a lot of just one wire that's snipped. I don't know. I guess I'm just gonna keep working on getting this HVAC in and see how far I get before I gotta call it a night and go to bed, because I gotta go to work tomorrow. Alright, next little update. So basically just kept going around finding little bits and pieces and just bolting them in. It's literally been a matter of find a piece and bring it over and just sit there and line up holes until I figure out where it goes. It's been going pretty okay so far. So I mean, I've got most of the wiring in. There's still kind of like random little bits that I haven't quite figured out where they go yet. I mean, this looks like it's part of the engine, so I think that's just stuff I gotta figure out once that's in there. To the interior, I got a lot more in. So I pretty much sorted out the wiring harness on that side. I've got the blower motor in, I have the heater core in behind this, which is the AC condenser, and that's in there. I put this, the little tumbler in here. What else have I done? Not much, actually. It's just been kind of getting cross-eyed, putting the wiring in. There's definitely a lot of issues with this wiring harness that I don't know how serious it's going to be. If you can see this here, a lot of ends kind of all over the harness that are just cut. It seems as though then there's like stuff like this, which was obviously added by somebody. I don't know what they had in there. Random vacuum hoses. This has just been snipped off. But yeah, and there's a bunch of things inside the car too that I noticed were just kind of cut ends. Things like over here. I'm not really sure what a lot of this is. I mean, that's a pretty thick wire, so I'm guessing that's probably a ground or something. But then there's stuff like this is just snipped or broken, probably broken. So yeah, there's definitely gonna be some some sorting out with a lot of this stuff, but getting progress. I think the next thing I'm gonna do is throw the dashboard in there.